Hey y'all, it's Brian, the tattooed worm guy. Just got home from work, figured I'd check on the worms and go ahead and include y'all while we're at it. So it's easy enough to do, right? Thought I might go ahead and add some paper to the mix. So when we set the worm factory up the other night, I put coconut ore and the minerals and pumice in there. We could have went ahead and added some paper at that time. I didn't really have any. So what I've done is I've got some paper today. Got a delivery from Amazon, so I've got like that little brown paper that they pack your package in. Got some of that shredded up a little bit, and then I've also got like a paper towel roll. I've shredded up by hand. Yeah, I've just done these both by hand. So let's check it out and see what we got going on here today. As you can see, I got one worm crawling around right here. Hard for me to see when I'm pointing at on here, but I'll try to knock him off or make sure he doesn't escape. But there we go, man. Look, we got a little activity, man. Those jokers are going in and out pretty good. Let's see what they're doing underneath the surface here. Oh, look at that. They're all over those radishes right now. That compost is just pulsating. Look at that. They're really processing this stuff. Seem to like it. I didn't know they'd like the radishes that much, so. Oh man. And if you do this right, this stuff really doesn't smell. You can smell it right when you get up on here a little bit. It's not a rotten smell or anything. It just kind of smells like dirt. What you think about good fresh soil ought to smell like. So as long as you're not overfeeding them to where the stuff is rotting before they get a chance to process it. Look at that. Y'all be doing pretty good. So I'm just gonna kind of clear a spot here in the middle, and we're gonna put some of that shredded paper in here. I don't really have any newspaper, so just gonna throw this in here. It's not like I'm a millennial or anything. So I do read the newspaper. We just don't have one delivered, so those things may be a thing of the past one day, right? You don't want to get too much in here, and I may be on that borderline with this stuff, but I don't put a lot of paper in my compost bin anyway. And, I don't know if I'm going to get any criticism for how I do stuff. I'm not claiming to be an expert by any means. I just know I've had some mild success. And I'm just basically a home composter, so I know people do this on a larger scale, and there's probably different techniques, but I just know what works for me, and that's all I'm trying to pass along is some tips and tricks on that. So, hopefully, maybe you've been on the fence about trying to start any of this, and maybe you decide you want to try it yourself. But I'm just going to soak this paper down pretty good. That brown paper, you want to tend to get it a little bit wetter than you would like a newspaper. I don't know why, it just seems like it doesn't soak it up as well. See how it's still dry on the bottom. Gonna kind of get it and make sure it's wet, pretty wet. And these worms love this stuff, man. You'll be surprised. Like I said, you wouldn't even have to put coconut in here. You could just put shredded paper, and they're gonna come. And now, try not to disturb them a whole lot, but I wanted to make sure this paper gets eaten as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cover it up with the worms and the bedding. You can move them around. I mean, you're not really gonna, I don't think they like it, but you're not gonna just create havoc on them. I mean, look at that ball right there, man. That is a lot of worms right there in that ball. They're just doing all they can to process this food, so they're just doing their job, man. That's their job. Me and you, we might go to, I work at a solar plant. Y'all might work at an office, but these jokers, all they do is they work eating, which sometimes I feel
Like I might have the job of just eating, especially on the weekends when I'm at home. Get bored, man. It seems like I eat a whole lot more. So, but I think they're doing pretty well. I'm just gonna kind of check the moisture. I'm gonna check it again with the moisture meter. Make sure everything looks pretty good. Still showing I'm a little dry. Look at that. I got a worm on top of that. Let me see if I can get it. There, I got a worm on top of that moisture meter. He's the one that come off that bag. Get off there, Joker. That was Fred. Looks like I'm still down at a 3. Let me see. I can't hardly tell when I'm showing you. I can't see what the screen shows. So I don't know if you can see the needle is still in the red, which is on a 3. So I'm gonna spray it a pretty good bit more. You know, you can see the eggshells are kind of mixed in more. They're all mixed in. I think, and I didn't know if I explained it the other night, when we put the eggshells, the reason we put them in the oven for 350 degrees for about 15-20 minutes is hopefully try to kill any bacteria that might be in the eggs, like salmonella or anything like that. And seems to be doing pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more eggshells while I'm here. Just a few. I've got you don't really have to, but man, I've got like a lot of eggshells. We've been saving eggshells for 2 years and we hadn't had worms. So one little tip, man, is this jar. It's a Metamucil jar. So I'm old, man, and I have to take Metamucil, right? So when I get done with the jar, we just save it, pull the label off of it, and make something real handy, man, for any of this stuff. You know, your eggshells or your minerals or anything like that. And you know, reuse everything you can. You know, that's the beauty of this. Once you get these things going good, you know, your toilet paper rolls, your paper towel rolls, you're gonna be able to shred them up and throw them in this, and just you know, paper towels maybe paper towels you just dried your hands on. You know, nothing that you know, wiped up chemicals or anything like that with. But, you know, if you just basically dried your wet hands on it, shred them up, put them in the composter, man. They'll eat it. Let's see what we're at now. Yeah, we're up to about a 4. A 4 now. So like I said, man, you know, I said the other day, it seems like the first few days you end up spraying this stuff, man, just all the time. And once it gets established pretty good and you get a couple trays on here, it seems like you don't have to spray it as much. It just kind of drifts down from one tray to the other. So, you know, don't get discouraged. I'm just going to go ahead and call it, man. Maybe I called it wrong the other day. I said that, you know, I didn't think you really needed that moisture meter, and you probably don't for everybody, but man, it comes in handy because, you know, I'm sitting here looking at this thing thinking I've got it licked. And according to the meter, I was dry, so I'm up to about a 5 on it now, which is pretty good. I don't know if you can see that needle on there or not, but I'm gonna call it good. And it's my wife's birthday, so I'm gonna take her out to dinner tonight if she can ever make her mind up where she wants to go eat. And I tried that trick that I see on the internet where you say, guess where we're going to eat, and then you're supposed to take her to the first place she says, and she said she wasn't falling for that trick. She wouldn't tell me anything, so I'm kind of stuck. So here we go, guys. I wet that paper down, like I said. You know, this brown paper bag, it'll soak it up. I know it looks like I got a lot of water on it, but it'll probably be dry in spots in the morning. So there we go. Just wanted to, you know, kind of give you a quick update. You know, I know how some of these videos are with some of these folks. You know, they'll put a video out, 2-3 videos out, and then you won't hear from them. You know, if at all, you might not hear from them for months or weeks. But I'm gonna try to keep this thing up. Maybe not every day because I do get busy at work, but you know, I'm gonna at least, you know, if I come down here to mess with this thing and I got a few minutes, I'm gonna break the phone out, put the light and microphone on it, and we'll take a look at these things, and hopefully, you know, maybe we'll all learn something along the way. So y'all take it easy. Have a good weekend.